Morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 8 in the book of Deuteronomy. Today is going to be about fighting for a place until the Lord gives peace. So, yesterday we watched King Sihon sin against the people of God, which is to say, sin against God himself. So, rather than give the people passage as they were going to move towards the promised land, he rose up to fight them. Now, he had a choice, like lots of people did in the Moabites. He had agency, like Esau's people called the Edomites. He, Sihon, immediately got what he deserved. He and his people were entirely devoted to destruction. So today is going to be the same story with a different king. So Og, who's going to, is the greatest name for destruction. King Og here is going to be destroyed, but it's going to be in a different location. So today's battle is not east of the Dead Sea. It's now about 100 miles north, east of the Sea of Galilee. So watch today as the people of Israel must fight for the place of Israel until the Lord gives peace to Israel. So this is chapter 3 of Deuteronomy. Then we turned and went up the way to Bashan. And Og, that king, the king of Bashan, came out against us. That means he decided to fight, he and all his people, to battle at Edreel. But the Lord said to me, Moses, do not fear him, for I have given him and all his people into your hand. And you shall do to him as you did to King Sihon, the king of the Amorites, who lived at Heshbon. That was yesterday's story. So the Lord our God gave into our hand King Og, also the king of Bashan and all his people. We struck him down until he had no survivor left. And we took all his cities at the time. There was not a city that we did not take from him. 60 cities, the whole region of Aragab, the kingdom of Og in Bashan. All these were cities fortified with high walls, gates, bars, and besides very many unwalled cities. We devoted them to destruction, as we did to King Sihon, the king of Heshbon, devoting to destruction every city, men, women, children. But all the livestock and the spoil of the cities we took as our plunder. So we took the land that at that time, out of the hand of the two kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan. That means on the east side of the Jordan, from the valley of Arnon to Mount HEREM. All right, so here, let's pause for a second. Here we find what happens to the second king that opposed the people of Israel. He was the last remaining member of the Rephaims, which is this people group who must have been large because he slept in an iron bed that was 13 and a half feet long. So he's probably gigantic, literally a giant. Yet he and his people were also devoted to destruction. He was struck down until he had no survivor left. He was given into the hand of God, in whose hand were the people of God, that is Moses and the Israelites. All right, and then in verses 12 to 17, the Lord gives this empty and conquered land to a new people group. It is the people of Israel, the tribe of Reuben, that's Jacob's son, Gad and Manasseh, that's Joseph's son, Machir, that's Joseph's grandson. So this is the conquered lands, which is to say the lands given into the hands of the sons of Israel by the hand of God. So these lands that we're still talking about are east of the Jordan, basically around today where the Golan Heights are today. And of note, when the previous occupiers were appropriately and obediently devoted to destruction, there leaves no argument as to whose land this is or is not. So there are no remaining previous people to this area. There are no remaining previous possessors of the land. So it clarifies titles such as the land. Here's the title, given by God for you to possess. Let me continue now in verse 18, 3:18. And I commanded you at that time, saying, the Lord your God has given you this land to possess. Then he tells the men what to do. All your men of valor shall cross over the Jordan, armed, before your brothers, the people of God. Only your wives, your little ones, and your livestock shall remain in the cities that I have given you, until the Lord gives rest to your brothers, as to you. And they also occupy the land that the Lord your God gives them beyond the Jordan. Then each of you may return to his possession, which I have given you. And I commanded Joshua at that time, your eyes, so this is Moses talking to Joshua, your eyes have seen all that the Lord your God has done to these two kings. So will the Lord do to all the kingdoms into which you are crossing, because Joshua is going to be the one that crosses into the promised land west of the Jordan. You shall not fear them, for it is the Lord your God who fights for you. All right, so these tribes of Israel that are given land east of the Jordan, what are they to do? What are the men of valor to do, and what are the women to do? Well, the women are to stay and occupy the land, children, livestock. You stay in these fortified cities, but the men, you fight. You cross over with your brothers armed into the soon-to-be promised land. They will fight for their brothers and then return to their possession, which the Lord has given until I give you rest. So the Lord is not done with the action and the activity of giving the Israelites, Jacob and his sons and their daughters, the promised land, which is Israel today. So the people of Israel must fight for the place of Israel until the Lord gives peace to Israel. So you may ask, why is Israel even in existence? Great question. Well, it's because it was the people that God sovereignly chose to bring a Savior into the world. And why is the place of Israel physically located where it is? Well, that's because of the specific land that the Lord gave for Israel to possess. So the Lord is demonstrating his steadfast love by devoting these people to destruction, these evil kings, Sihon and Og. So God is exercising HEREM, which is the destruction, to demonstrate his Hesed, his faithfulness. Write that down. The people of Israel must fight for the place of Israel until the Lord gives peace to Israel. So fighting for the place here east of the Jordan until the Lord gives rest after giving the place west of the Jordan, that's going to come tomorrow. Listen and see you then.